First contact being confirmed between Tigray dissident fighters and the rulers of Tigray. I have been proposing engagement, saying that these Tigray fighters should be engaged, talk should start. What happened? Who contacted these Tigray fighters who are organizing themselves in the far region of Ethiopia? Welcome to my views and news. Thank you for watching the channel. Two main topics in this video. Firstly, it seems that the Tigray ruling elite is trying to talk to the Tigray dissident fighters who call themselves Tigray freedom fighters too, by the way. Second story is from Somalia, where AlShabaab this morning overran another strategic military base. Let's start from Somalia, viewers. Then the second story, which is about the developments in Tigray, about the likelihood of the start of an armed resistance movement there. Firstly, with Somalia, we will know that AlShabaab fighters in recent weeks showed that they are still a force to be reckoned with, despite operation after the operation. Despite airstrikes, AlShabaab's capabilities could not be degraded. It's very surprising, by the way, that US, Turkey, UAE, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Djibouti, Somalia, all teaming up to crush one group, and still they are unable to stop AlShabaab. Why? Either commitment is missing, either there is there are loopholes in the strategy, or no one really wants to crush AlShabaab. Or maybe AlShabaab is smarter than all these parties, which is difficult to believe, by the way. A few days ago, AlShabaab overran Adan Yabal. Adan Yabal is a strategic place in Shabelle, Middle Shabelle. It connects Middle Shabelle with some other strategic areas. The military had to withdraw from Adan Yabal a few days ago. The most strategic military base of the Somalian military in Middle Shabelle is in Adan Yabal. Second most strategic Somalia's military base in Middle Shabelle is in Vargadhi. Vargadhi is a village. This morning, hundreds of AlShabaab fighters overran Vargadhi village. And since this morning, heavy fighting has been ongoing in Vargadhi between the two sides. AlShabaab fighters are claiming in social media that they have captured Vargadhi, that they have inflicted heavy losses on military. Military is confirming that both sides have suffered losses. Military is not confirming its retreat from Vargadhi. AlShabaab's continued offensives in Middle Shabelle are basically aimed at pushing towards capital. They might not try to enter capital, but they want to lay siege to capital. They want to make it difficult for Hassan Sheikh government to survive. Let's see. We're waiting for confirmation from the Somalia's government. Fighting in Varghadi confirmed. Will military be able to retain control of it, or will it withdraw? That remains to be seen. I think there is serious need of some change to strategy in the fight against AlShabaab. Somalia's government can never strengthen itself. The country can never be strong if AlShabaab continues posing to be such a huge threat to the government, the forces. Secondly, was first contact has been made between Tigray dissident fighters. They call themselves Tigray freedom fighters, by the way, and some of them contacted me. Said, Saji, they use this word for us, Tigray freedom fighters. You call us Tigray dissident fighters. Well, I think they have not chosen a name for themselves so far. That is why I just chose a name for them, Tigray Dissident Fighters, which suits my type of reporting. But when they choose a name for them officially, I will use that word, that term for them. They're using a term for the area where they're based. They're calling it free land, free zone. And they are inviting other Tigray dissident fighters to come to free zone, free area. But they have not so far chosen a name for themselves, name of the group. First contact has been established, which I have been proposing. I've been saying that these Tigray fighters should not be called enemies. They should not be called anti-Tigray. Rather, they should be talked to. They should be engaged. Their concerns should be listened to. This is the way forward. And the contact has been established on behalf of Tigray military. Tigray military. Uh, a Tigray military officer, part of the government, part of where they led government, he contacted these disgruntled Tigray fighters who are mainly based in a far region of Ethiopia. The Tigray military officer uh, invited them to talks. He asked them to share their concerns, and he asked them to start formal talks with Tigray military. The people on the fighter side did not give clear answers. They said they'll hold discussions, they'll talk to all the fighters, and then they'll take a position. Though they have already taken a position, they've been saying that they want an end to TPLF's hegemony in Tigray. They don't want Tigray military commanders to support TPLF. They want youths to be part of Tigray's politics, to be part of Tigray's government. This is what they have been calling for in the statements. Will all that be acceptable to TPLF? I don't think so. That is why TPLF might not be part of this process of talks between Tigray military and disgruntled Tigray fighters. TPLF might like a military operation against these freedom fighters, because if they manage to strengthen themselves, their first target will be TPLF. TPLF so far reportedly is not part of the engagements. Maybe TPLF talked to military and then military engaged Tigray dissident fighters. It's just a preliminary contact. We cannot say formal talks have begun. We cannot say that Tigray freedom fighters, so to say, they've agreed on dialogue with the government. No, but they're not against dialogue. Fano fighters are openly saying, they've been openly saying for the last 2 years, they don't want dialogue. They want to remove the government. After that, dialogue can happen. So far, these Tigray dissident fighters have not ruled out the possibility of talks with the government. That is why there is hope that if serious effort is made by TPLF and Tigray military to talk to these fighters, they might start dialogue, which is the, I think, best solution to put an end to this conflict. Because if you don't resolve a conflict while it's starting, indirectly you are promoting the extension of the conflict, which will expand, and then it will become difficult for you to handle it. From government's perspective, this is the right time to talk to these Tigray fighters. If the government thinks it can crush Tigray fighters, there are a few hundred, a few dozen, then government would be making a mistake. It should talk to these Tigray dissident fighters now. TPLF should also be part of discussions, I think. Thank you for watching.